Man, it's been a little while since I've been live. This is my unfiltered response and warning to the whole Fed now thing. It's getting close to the whole ideology of we're peons, right? And the government is not here to help. Some of the gnarliest words you can hear in the English language is, I'm from the government and I'm here to help. And that's exactly what Fed now is it is a peer-to-peer system for instant transfers. It sounds a whole lot like the blockchain and cryptocurrency, yet they are saying it is not going to be neither of those things. Yes, we've needed instant transfer for forever. Nobody likes going to Chase and Wire, and if it's past 2:30 in the afternoon, it's next business day, or if you need to send money over the weekend. Yeah, there are some fixes with Venmo where, hey, if you pay a substantial fee of 2%, it's going to be instant. Yeah, that's very helpful, but is it more realistic? No, not really, because that just sucks. We are falling behind many other countries. I believe India is much more advanced than we are when it comes to these instant transfers on the whole banking scenario. And what our Treasury Department has said is that this is not related to any digital currency, and it's the underlying technology. It is the Ripple network, it's the XLM network, it's just the simple blockchain where it's peer-to-peer transfers at a incredible pace. That's what we're getting, and that's honestly what we need. However, what's cool about most cryptocurrency is there is no mediator. There's nobody that can turn you off on a dime. We've talked a lot about social credit. And this is, how do you control a big population, right? It goes back, I want to say since the dawn of time, the last 2,000 years. How do you control a giant population? There's a great book out there by the name of Sapiens. I really think it's about the human history. And essentially the author says in there that religion was built to form an ideology, a cult per se, to control people, because you can't have billions of friends. You can't, right? You can have only about 100 relationships. There was I'm digressing. There was some statistic and experiment that happened with a bunch of chimps that you could have a population of about 100. And if it exceeded that, they all killed each other because war broke out and blah, blah, blah. Relatively the same thing with humans. Once you get too many people, you need to have some sort of ideology to control them, right? And hence, boom, here comes religion. How many times, like sports, all sorts of cults, even cryptocurrency that we're in now, if you see somebody that says, oh, I invest in Bitcoin, then you go, man, we have a commonality. We are now friends. That's just simply, from a 1,000-foot view, that's how it happens. And what this Fed now is doing is it's simply being a mediator to that, to where they can get closer, and I'm saying the governments can get closer to turning you off whenever they want, saying your money's not good here, whatever, but they're going to tell you, hey, it's instant transfers, blah, 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 which is nice because technology is advancing, usually doubling every 18 months, and with new quantum computing coming along and AI, we are going to see, at least our kids are going to see, a much different world than we live in than currently. And this guy right here is just a massive warning, because we talked about the COVID vaccine and saying what kind of a mumbo jumbo that was, and it was potentially to control more people. I mean, actually, the Moderna and the Pfizer vaccines, at least the first ones, are now banned from being used. And they actually were developed by some AI, which is crazy to think too. But it's all about control. And how do you control people? You control them with your money. And this is exactly what that is doing, is it's going closer to a dystopia of the whole credit system that China's trying to implement, where they could tell you your money's not good here, etc. But they're going to use the blockchain. The blockchain. That's why it's important to invest in certain companies that share the same ideology as you. This is not me saying, hey, that XRP is going to $20 or Bitcoin is going to $1 million. I've got my own reasonings for why I think certain things. However, this is basically just a warning saying that this is happening. This is happening right before our eyes. And if you look at who is the biggest investors in this deal, is you've got JP Morgan Chase Bank. Do you think all these bankers, this is the same guy that tanked Bitcoin a couple years ago saying it was a fraud, and then comes out he bought a couple $1 billion worth of Bitcoin when it was down at around $3,000. It's all about control. Crazy, crazy, crazy. It is cool to see that things are finally being implemented, but why are we saying that this has nothing to do with digital currency? And they're wrapping it as if they've just come up with this technology. No, they are stealing this technology. They are stealing this technology from creators that have made and added beneficial stuff onto the blockchain, right? Originality is just undetected plagiarism, and that's all the government is doing. And I will leave again with that quote that the scariest thing is that I'm here from the government and I'm here to help. No, you are effing not. So guys, just be wary of what's going on. It's kind of cool. It's sort of the same thing with what Facebook was trying to do with their Libra coin, right? These companies own so much. If you look at BlackRock, what are their biggest investments? Big Pharma, Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, Vanguard. They also are the biggest investors in CBS, NBC, Fox. They own the news. They're the biggest investors in the restaurants with McDonald's, etc. They own almost everything, and yet they're not the ones up in front. And now BlackRock is just getting into an ETF with Bitcoin. Sounds a little crazy to me. This is why all the volatility is happening with crypto, is why everything is not finding a way, because with the XRP news, that should have been something that could have catapulted Ethereum back up to 2,000 and Bitcoin above 32,000. But no, we're in this weird stagnant here. And if we are going to tank, we should have tanked a while ago. And so I'm still incredibly bullish. This is just trying to kick out all of the retail investors so the institutional investors can pick this shit up cheap. And they are trying to push this sucker down to the 25 here. Let me go on the daily here so that I could see. You know, there's so much manipulation going on, and that's why you just need to be aware and almost worrisome, because 25K, this giant line here, this is the level of support. And if we can't hold currently here, we're going down to that. But big institutionals like JP Morgan and BlackRock, they would love to see this guy go under 20,000 and have every other retail investor panic so that they can come in and say what a crop it was and blah, blah, blah. And then they can pull their narrative that, hey, look at the Fed now. This is this central cryptocurrency that they want to use, whether it's going to be in the form of a yen or the dollar. It's coming. It's coming. Cash is already digital, and it's already controlled by these guys. So this is just an integration to make more control, because if anything, the population is continuing to multiply. So that's all I have to say, guys. Till next time, it's Johnny Crypto. I'm here to help you guys make some money. I'm going to have lots of new content coming out as well.